So in this video, I'm going to be giving you 3 reasons as to why I personally write Medium posts. Now the reason that I write so many Medium posts that are in relation to these YouTube videos that I make is because of the word sawdust, which may sound a little bit weird, but let me explain. Roughly a year ago, I was watching a video by Gary Vaynerchuk. He's known by a lot of people on the internet. He is a business, social media, crazy guru. And he had a video where he talked about how he produces sawdust content, which I'd never heard of this word before, and it basically meant that he would take one piece of content and he can repurpose it over his Snapchat, his Instagram, his Medium account, a podcast, over so many different areas, and he could make one piece of content be 10 pieces of content.
What's even more crazy is that is our normal content on content creation. Look what just happened. I just made a 3rd piece of content. The content of the show and all the content, create the article, now I'm creating this content. This is meta cubed, not even squared. So what you just saw is my attempt to continue to create new content for you guys. This is kind of a glimpse into our process of how we take what we do in the show and turn it into articles.
So he could take a quote from a YouTube video and pop that into an Instagram graphic post, or he could create an entire Medium account based on a rant that he had on his Snapchat story, or he could even take his audio from his Q&A show and put that into audio form and make that a podcast. He sort of talked about in this video how he said once upon a time someone was obviously working in a woodworking shop making tables and chairs, and one day this person thought, all of this sawdust that I am just throwing away, I can collect it and I can package it up and sell that. And then this person had, a multi-million pound, or I guess dollar in his instance because he's American, company. People need sawdust. They use it for many different things, and a lot of this sawdust was just going to waste. And so he says that is how he sees his online content, and that really just shifted my mindset in how I approach my YouTube videos. And so with my YouTube, what I do is I will record a video like so, and then I will decide what were the main points. If it's a video where I've talked about 10 tips like I did with my 10 tips for growing on YouTube, I will then make an entire Medium post. It is entirely a full-on blog post that expands on the topics that I've already discussed in the video, but I've done it on Medium. So why is that? The people who happen to be on Medium looking for content to read are not on YouTube. So when they head to the blog post that I've made, I have a short introduction talking about what the blog post is going to speak about, and then I will say, if you prefer to watch a video, you can head on over to my channel and watch the video where I discuss about it. And instantly, people might want to watch something a bit more visual. It's a lot easier to sit back in your chair and watch a video than it is to sit and read through a huge blog post. And so that, for me as a primary YouTuber, would allow me to then gain more views. I also think that there are so many words within the blog posts that are actually searchable, and so they will actually rank higher in Google and have a greater SEO, which means that the higher it's ranked in regards to the subject that I'm talking about, more people will click it, find out about me, my personal brand, my Medium account, and will follow the Medium account, or they may go through to the YouTube channel. This is just another great way of getting more exposure for your YouTube channel, your brand, your company, whatever it may be. This is just another additional way of making that snowball, getting the ball rolling, and if you get enough momentum, you will then be able to just carry on, and you will get all of the subscribers, all of the viewers, and it will be a lot easier to be able to sell your content, because as we know, the more Medium followers you have, the more you get. The more YouTubers and viewers you have, the more subscribers you get. This is just another way that I get more viewers to my YouTube account. Now, I admit that I am not the best writer in the world. I can put my hand on my heart and say that. But people actually have said that they like my writing, and so that there will mean that they are a fan of my Medium account, maybe more so than my YouTube videos, and that's completely fine too, because it still means that the brand that I'm trying to put out here people know who I am, and it's different than if I just stuck to one platform all of the time. I personally find that with social media, you really need to spread yourself over everything and try and touch as many bases and as many people as you can. I also find that I actually have improved my writing skill by writing Medium posts. So yeah, I may not be the greatest now, but if I continue this, I will actually improve. Whereas if I didn't write any blog posts at all, then my writing was never going to improve because I was never trying to improve the writing in the first place. Now in my instance, I will be writing about something that I've already talked about in a YouTube video, and so when I'm writing, I'm not making subtitles. I'm not saying word for word what I said in the video. I am rewriting this, and at times I write more information. I go more in depth, and that this I just think is a more elaborate way of remembering what you've wrote. It's a greater way to explain the content that you've spoken, and so being able to actually write down and reread your sentences and make sure that they are perfect will actually make you a better writer, because you've got to make sure that the writing is great. Because with YouTube, from analytics, we can see that people don't necessarily go back and rewatch whole videos or whole segments. They will watch it from start to finish and move on. Whereas with a piece of content that is written, people read that sentence, not understand it, and reread it again. And so you have to make sure as the writer that what you're writing is good. Whereas YouTube, it's a little bit more lenient. You can get away with more things. So by writing additional content, you're actually helping yourself to remember what you're teaching or what you're talking about. But it also means that the people who do watch the YouTube video want to get more in-depth value, so then they will go from the YouTube channel straight to your Medium account and then read that blog post because they want extra information. And once again, this is a greater way of keeping people within your personal brand, your company's bubble, rather than heading over to maybe a competitor's YouTube video. I also like blog posts because it's a lot easier for myself as well as viewers to actually head back to that blog post and quickly skim it instead of having to rewatch an entire video that may be 15-20 minutes long. And I don't have the time to do that, whereas I can just go straight onto my Medium post, hit Control F and search for the specific word that I'm looking for. And the final point that I want to drill home is that it's another skill. Being able to write is very important now, especially going into the future with social media and the internet. It is obvious that the future is digital, and social media and the internet is going to play a huge part in that. We've only just touched the beginning. The internet really has only been sort of around in the last 11 to 12 years on fast speeds, where a lot of people are really jumping on board, and we're seeing that develop. Obviously it's been around for a long time, we all know that, but the last 10 years is really where it started to hit its stride, and we've seen big developments. And it obviously makes sense from looking at the landscape how it is now. When you're applying for jobs, people want you to do 1,001 different things, and they want you to be able to do them great. This isn't sort of the thing now where you'd go into a career, get that job, sweeping or I don't know, getting tea for people on the first day and working your way up the company for 60 years, getting that watch and going, and then dying eventually. It's now a different world where you need to be able to do a bunch of different things at the same time and be great at them. And I think that being able to be great at film, as well as photography, as well as writing, as well as social media, and being able to make motion graphics, I'm just talking off the top of my head for the stuff that I do, being able to have all of those different skill sets is vital in pushing your personal brand, your YouTube channel, your career. And if you ever made a business, that would be pretty important that you understood everything that your employees underneath you were doing. Just having that writing skill, for me, I find is pretty important, and I think is going to be a huge skill, copywriting and being able to write specifically for advertising, for social media, for your own background, for your own website, whatever it may be. I think having a blog post like Medium is just a great way of practicing that skill and improving. Those there were a few of the points. I kind of went a bit on a rant, and it kind of feels like I go off on track a bit in a different area, but I always bring it back around. But they do make sense. I didn't just talk about that stuff for a random reason. I do personally believe that they are all connected. Being able to have your video within the blog post to me is important because I want to grow the YouTube channel. Whereas if you're someone who is a writer, the points that I made might not be, of much value to you specifically, but for someone who's like me, who's a YouTuber, and someone who's in film and photography and wants to have a career where I can do many different things, because I feel like that is imperative to this new day and age of the internet. I don't know, that point is just really, really big. It stands out, it's clear to me. But obviously, like I say, it's different for everyone. But for me, that is why I write Medium posts. Thank you all for watching. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. If you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, if I taught you something, if you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. So be sure to leave a comment down below. But I shall see you all in my next video, which is tomorrow. So be sure to subscribe for that. Yeah, okay, goodbye.